Okay, hey everybody, here are the rest of the odds from your homework. Again, you're just going to have to submit the evens into Google Classroom. So in number 7, we're going to pick up, and we start off by looking for the parent function. And I noticed this cube root. So that cube root is telling me, well, the parent function is cube root of x. And to figure out the graph of the parent, because I'm asked to graph it, I can go back to my notes from class and look for that cube root. There it is. So here's my cube root parent here on the right. And my table, let me zoom out a little bit here. There are my table of points that I'm going to plot on the graph on the homework to start with. Gives me a starting point. And again, I'm getting these points from my notes, from the notes we took earlier this week. So there's my parent cube root. Now the transformations, and I numbered them for you as a little hint, says there's 2 of them. And really everything but this parent is therefore a transformation. So that means this plus 6 is a transformation. And if you go to your notes, again, you have your notes you can use. I go to my notes on transformation. I go to my little cheat sheet. I see that if something is with x, like right here with my h, I forget what we had. I think we had plus 6. Ours was x plus 6. So that means I'm going to have a horizontal translation to the left 6. Go back to my graph. And then I also have a -1 on the end. So again, you go back to your notes. I'll flip back for this example, but not the rest. You go back to my notes, and I see if there's a -1 on the end. Oh, well, that's k here. And that means, since I have a -1, it's a vertical translation down 1. So go back to my worksheet. So all of these points, those red dots that I made for the parent, are going to move left 6 and then down 1. So I'm going to do that in a different color here. It's blue. So this starting point is too far left. I can't move it left any further. But this one I can. So this point at -1 is going to go left 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then down 1. This point at the origin is going to go left 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and down 1. This point at 1, left 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, down 1. And lastly, this point way over here, I'm at 8, left 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, down 1. And I sketch in that same curve. So there's my transform function. Looks a little funny, but it's right. Keep in mind, these arrows on the left and right of the parent mean it goes on forever, so I'm kind of pulling this whole parent to the left and down. All right, let's look at number 9. So number 9, I look at it and I see, well, the x is in the exponent, so this parent must be exponential. And it's the same one we did in the notes. So again, you can go back to your parent function notes. Exponential. And get the graph of it. I don't remember which points I picked. I'm just going to plot some that I know off the top of my head. I get infinitely close to that x-axis. At 1, I'm at 2. At 2, I'm at 4. At 3, I'm at 8. I'm just squaring, or 2 to whatever power. So, for example, 2 to the -2 is 1/4. So this point's kind of really close to the x-axis. 2 to the -1 is 1/2. 2 to the 0 is 1. 2 to the 1st is 2, and so on. So now I'm at 2 to the 4th is 16. I don't remember which points I put in the notes, but there's some for you. So there's my parent function. That means everything else is a transformation. So here I see a +2. And again, if you go back to your transformation notes, so that cheat sheet I gave you, that's h, because it's with x. So So that means that's a horizontal translation, left 2. So every one of those points is going to go left 2. And then this plus 2 on the end is a vertical translation, up 2. So every one of those red points, I'm going to move left 2 and up 2. So my point here at 1/4 is left 2, 1, 2, up 2, 1, 2, so it's going to be right there. My point at 1/2 is going to go left 2, up 2. My point at 0, 1 is going to go left 2, up 2. Point at 1, 2, left 2, up 2. At 2, 4 is going to go left 2, up 2. Here I'm going to go left 2, up 2. Left 2, up 2. And that's all I got. Oops. And there's my transform graph. And I skipped domain and range in the last one, so I'll go back to it. But I'm going to do this domain and range first. So the furthest left this graph goes is negative infinity because of the arrow on the left. And the furthest right it goes is infinity. My range, you remember from the parent functions, this function was pretty interesting. The range, the lowest it goes in the parent function was 0, or close to 0, right? We use 0 with a parenthesis. But now because it shifted up 2 for the blue graph, that's going to start at 2 for my range. Well, almost 2. We're just going to use a parenthesis. And that's going to go up to infinity. Let me go back to the previous one. This domain and range, this one's easy. Even though it shifted, it's going to stay negative infinity to infinity for domain. Goes left and right forever. And for range, same thing. All right, a couple more here. Let's go to the bottom. So different situation. I don't have to graph this time. It's just name the parent and state the transformation. So if I look at number 11, I'll stick with the odds here. Number 11, I see the parent is absolute value, obviously because of these absolute value bars. So my parent is absolute value. That means everything else is a transformation. So the first thing I see that's different is this 2 in the front. And I'm going to go back to my old notes. So if I go back to the notes from transformations, and I go to my little cheat sheet right here, I see if there's a number in the front, if it's negative, it's a reflection. Well, ours isn't negative. Ours is a number bigger than 1, so that means we have a vertical stretch. So that 2 is a vertical stretch. Vertical stretch by a factor of 2. And the next thing that's different is the plus 3 in parentheses. So again, if I go back to my parent function notes, the plus in parentheses is the same as h, and if it's plus, it's a horizontal translation to the left. It's going to be a horizontal translation to the left. Left 3. And my minus 1 on the end, that's a vertical translation down. So I'm running out of space. Down 1. Last one. I see my parent function right here is quadratic because of the square. See if I can zoom in a little bit. It's kind of small. It's a little better. So quadratic. And then I have this negative in the front. That negative is a reflection over the x-axis. The 1/2, Just like in the previous one, we had a vertical stretch. This is also similar, but it's a vertical compression because it's a fraction. So if I were to graph it, it would be half as tall as the original parent. I keep looking here, my transformation, another +2. A lot of left translations here. That's a horizontal translation left. Left 2. And then the -3 on the end is a vertical translation down 3. So now you have half of the homework from your last in-person day completed. Your job is to complete the evens and then submit a photo of those evens or just the whole thing being done in Google Classroom.